2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, the 1st of March, and it's St. David's Day. A big happy birthday to Kesha, Paul Hollywood, Justin Bieber, and Lupita Nyong'o. Rishi Sunak's been busy promoting his new Brexit deal in Northern Ireland. The Prime Minister met with Stormont politicians on Tuesday to try and convince them to back his agreement. He says the so-called Windsor Framework resolves issues with Irish sea trade and ensures what's on the shelves in shops in Great Britain are also available there. And this is what he told workers in County Antrim.
Northern Ireland is in the unbelievably special position, unique position in the entire world, European continent, in having privileged access not just to the UK home market, which is enormous, but also the European Union single market. Nobody else has that.
But critics were quick to point out the entire UK had full access to the EU single market before Brexit. Labour will support the deal, according to Shadow Northern Ireland Secretary Peter Kyle, who told Sky News he hopes the new measures will help get the Assembly up and running again.
And in order for this deal to become a success, then devolved government needs to be restored in Northern Ireland. That needs the DUP to go back in.
Meanwhile, DUP leader Jeffrey Donaldson says the party is still considering its response to the new deal.
We will make our assessment. We're reasonable people. We want to ensure that this is indeed the best way forward for Northern Ireland. And if that is our conclusion, then we will act accordingly.
The strikes haven't gone away, even as Rishi celebrates his new Brexit plan. Nurses in Wales who had paused strikes to start talks have now given ministers 5 days to reply after they rejected the latest pay offer. Meanwhile, teachers have started 3 days of walkouts.
Come on, Jill! Pay the bills! Come on, Jill! Pay the bills!
Different areas of England and Wales will be hit at different times in the rolling strikes, which begin in the northeast of England on Tuesday. The government insists it's offered to hold fresh talks, but the National Education Unions denied that. Joint General Secretary Kevin Courtney acknowledged many kids would have to stay at home this week, but claimed that's justified.
We sincerely regret the disruption to children's education, but we think we're taking action for a high moral purpose, to try and get the government to invest in this generation of children who are being ignored by this government.
Around 200,000 teachers are expected to be involved in the latest action. Speaking on Good Morning Britain, Secretary of State for Education Gillian Keegan is disappointed there's been no progress.
And it was a serious offer to pause strikes, get round the table. The RCN are in discussions right now because they paused their strikes. The NEU are not, they're on strike.
Labour's unveiled a plan to support women going through the menopause in the workplace. Research by the Fawcett Society shows 1 in 10 women aged 45 to 55 have left their jobs because of the symptoms. Under the party's new proposal, women could be offered paid leave, something Labour chairwoman Annalise Dodds thinks will help.
Well, we've learned that actually, when you have that flexible approach, that if they need that time off, that their manager will understand the need for it. And that really does make a big difference. These are simple changes, but they can be fundamental.
Dodd says UK firms should be made to publish a menopause action plan. Her party is also suggesting working environments have temperature-controlled areas. Meanwhile, Nationwide's already started to implement support measures, including a special breathable uniform. Mandy Reid is the Director of Retail Services.
We've got about 27% of our workforce within this sort of 40-plus age demographic. We want to keep these individuals in the workplace.
Rupert Murdoch's admitted some Fox News hosts endorsed false claims made by Donald Trump and his allies about the 2020 presidential election being stolen by Joe Biden, and that he didn't try to stop them. That's according to newly unsealed court documents, which are part of a $1.6 billion lawsuit against the news giant by Dominion Voting Systems. It's suing the Fox News network and parent company Fox Corp for defamation, saying some employees deliberately amplified false claims the company's machines had changed votes, and that Fox gave them a platform to do it. Journalist Ari Melba says it's a damning case.
What we're seeing, filing after filing, day after day, is a case where there is so much mounting evidence that if this does get to trial, that might be the worst thing for the Fox News empire and Rupert Murdoch that we've seen in years.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Brendan Fraser gets emotional about the whale and the traitors is coming back. Right after this. Welcome back.
3,
Tuesday saw the FA Cup's fifth round kick off as the last 16 battle for a place in the quarter-finals. There were 4 games on Tuesday and plenty of FA Cup surprises as Leicester were beaten 2-1 by Blackburn, Fulham dumped Leeds out of the Cup with a 1-0 win and Brighton beat Stoke. Man City travelled to face Bristol, but there was no giant killing on the cards as Pep's team won comfortably 3-0. The manager was delighted to see Phil Foden back on form and on the score sheet with 2 goals after his World Cup ankle injury.
His dynamic, his rhythm and his work ethic and his quality. You know, football players have an up and downs, and his career always was up. And this season for the World Cup, after World Cup, he struggled a little bit with the ankle, was a little bit down, but now the best part of the season, he's back.
The Oscar race is certainly heating up with only 2 weeks to go, and Brendan Fraser's in pole position after a Best Actor win at the SAG Awards on Sunday. He plays an overweight English teacher in his comeback movie The Whale and is a definite favourite to pip Colin Farrell, Paul Mescal and Austin Butler for the Oscar. And he told Kelly Clarkson how he found he'd got the Oscar nomination.
There was a knock at the door of my bedroom and my kids were there with balloons and they had a Carvel ice cream cake.
Oh my God, I will cry right now. That's so sweet.
It was Fudgy the Whale.
Aww.
Enjoyed that one. Then now it's a core memory of mine.
A second series of the BBC's hit programme, The Traitors, has been confirmed. The psychological reality show, which has had 34 million views on BBC iPlayer, sees a group of strangers try to eliminate one another as they compete for a cash prize under the watchful eye, well, if she can see anything through that fringe, of Claudia Winkleman. Hannah Bichkowski was one of the winners in the first series and says the second instalment will do just as well because it's so unique.
It's a structure and a format that everyone's really interested in because it's something that's nothing to do with dating, it's nothing to do with love or any kind of... It's about a game, but also about what happens when you put a group of genuinely nice people put under so much pressure and with so much at stake as well, you know.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.